It is June 18th, 2026. I am 19 years old. I work as a cleaner. This is the summer after my first year of uni. I go to Western for BMOS. This is the first time I'm addressing a camera, so this is very odd. But I'm making this video, and to be honest, I should have made this video years ago, and I'm surprised I actually haven't. It's simple. I want to win. I have always been a dreamer, even from a young age, years and years ago. I could have made this video when I was like 13, 14, 12 even. I have always been a dreamer, but I've always lacked action. I've always been comfortable. I've cared way too much what people think. I've always been insecure. I was that timid, shy kid that had low self-esteem and just I've always I've always wanted more and just never had the courage to dip my toes into the deep end. Life's not easy, things happen and change is uncomfortable because it's uncertain. Life itself is uncertainty. You have no clue what will ever happen to you. And most people stay average. They fall into their routines. They fall into this person that people say that they are, that they think they are. Change is difficult because in order to change, you have to destroy the self you currently are. And that's not easy, especially when you go your whole life being this person. You reinforce all those bad habits, the disbelief in yourself. You internalize it. And once you're set in your ways, most people live their lives like that. But I'm here to say that I will change no matter how hard it is, no matter how embarrassing for this is, for example, this is me jumping out of my comfort zone, but I have to stop caring what people think. If I if I keep caring so much about the opinion of others, I will never change. I will never do anything. You can't expect the same life if you never change. To get something you've never had, you got to do stuff you've never done. I don't want to live an average life where I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. I don't meet people. I don't want to be average. To grow old and just look back on life and have nothing to be proud of, filled with regret. That is the most painful thing I think a person can go through. I think the fear of death is scary. I think embarrassment is scary. I think all sorts of things are scary. But I think the scariest thing is looking back and realizing you had all this time and you wasted all of it, having nothing to show for it. I think that is the scariest thing. And we always think that we have time. You have time. Oh, you're young. You have time. No, you don't. Because in order to achieve, it takes discipline and consistency and showing up over and over and over again. Yeah, maybe you're young, but you don't know how much time it's going to take for you to come to success. Some people, maybe it's a few months, some people, years, some people, decades of effort and effort and effort. You don't know how long that timer is for you. So even if you're young, you have to get those reps in of, let's say you make content. Well, you got to make video after video after video. Who knows when you'll go viral or you'll build an audience? You never know. These sorts of things are uncomfortable. It's difficult. It's change. Change is uncomfortable, but you have to be willing to be embarrassed. You have to get over your fear of being perceived. My entire life, I was so self conscious. I'd always look in the mirror. I would constantly be touching my hair. I'd always pull my shirt down. I was insecure about my weight, my look. I was insecure about my ethnicity growing up. I was insecure about everything. My voice, my height, all sorts of things. And to this day, I'm still not the most charismatic, most outgoing, most passionate person, but I'm realizing I have big dreams that I've always been scared to speak of just because I feel like, oh, my family will say I can't do this, friends will say, like, people will laugh at me. This video itself, I decided today I'd make it. Here I am, first take, but this itself is already embarrassing because I'm not used to. I've always been a thinker, a dreamer. So I've never really put that out into the world. I never really told those thoughts to people because they'd shoot it down or they would invalidate it. There are people out there who think like me. And I'm just realizing that we're just not average. It's just something in us that we're wired different where we aren't like other people. We want more. We need more. We need passion. We need will. We need to achieve. We need a journey where we have things we go after. We can't just we get bored with the average life and we see more and we need it. We want it to our core. I don't want an average life of just a typical job, not having freedom, not being able to do what I want, go where I want with whoever I want. Life is too short. Lifetime flies by. Like you look back on life and it's just like times that felt long, you look back and they fly by. High school, for example, like I couldn't wait for it to end, but now that it's over, it's like, well, what comes next when I'm in uni? Well, what comes after that? I get a job. Well, what comes after that? Nothing. A lot of people just work till the day they die. It's an uncomfortable truth that you either have to accept or you have to be willing to do stuff. Like people who get rich, typically entrepreneurs, it's not easier. It's more difficult. It's a higher upfront cost for a greater return later in life, but it's not guaranteed. That's why you have to act with urgency. The point of this video is I want to put I want to put the dreams and the life that I want into existence because every great thing you see around me. For example, this is my view right now. My work building. Everything you see around you, every great invention, every great building, when you see like a giant skyscraper, someone built that. Did they just think of it and it appeared? No. They had an idea. It all starts with ideas. Ideas aren't even real. It's just something in your head. Like it's a thought. It's simply a thought. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. But if you can bring those ideas out, the problem is most people are dreamers, are thinkers. I have this idea, I have this idea. They tell their friends, they tell everyone, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But they don't do it. Action is what is required, but action is uncomfortable because change is uncomfortable. Commitment is uncomfortable. This is me deciding that I am not going to live an average life, and this is me speaking it into existence. I'm going to get rich someday. I want money. I want to travel. I want to meet people of different cultures. I want to eat all kinds of different food. I want to see the different architecture, the different nature, animals, land, everything, culture, traditions. I want to explore and travel the world. And I want money. I want money for the freedom. People say money can't buy happiness. I'd say money buys happiness if you know what to buy. Money, sure, I want nice cars. Like someday I want like a supercar, Lambo, Porsche, whatever, a nice house, whatever it is you want that's material. But money can also give you peace of mind. Money can also retire your family. You don't have to see your parents slave, get up every day and go to work. I hate seeing my family go to work. They're getting old. They should retire, but there's bills to pay. The bills keep coming. Who's going to pay the bills? Like, life isn't easy, but you can choose. You can choose to flow upstream. You can choose to have more, but it just comes at a cost. But I'm willing to pay that cost. And it's not going to be easy and it's going to be a journey, but this is me speaking it into existence. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to work on my mind, my body. I'm going to, I don't know, maybe build a business. Maybe I start content. I'm going to do something where I can achieve financial freedom. I can live my dream of traveling. I can just finally be the version of me I've always wanted to be that I've been too scared to talk about. And right now it's going to suck because I'm saying all this, but nothing's changed. I've been rambling, but what's changed? Nothing has changed. If this if this feels like you, if you relate to this where you've wanted to change, you have these big dreams, all these things you've wanted to do and you've just never changed. This message is for you. First, speak it into existence. If it never leaves your head, then it's nothing. It doesn't exist. You need to bring it into existence, and people will judge you. I've always struggled with being judged, but I'm realizing that judgment, especially hate, when people hate on you for trying to change or do something around plans, it never comes from the top. A person who's fit will not laugh at you for trying to start a diet or start a new training regimen. But people who are lazy and unfit will say, "Oh, you're not going to do that. You're going to give up soon. You're going to do this, that. You can't stick to that." People will laugh at you. They'll talk behind your back. They'll say, "Do whatever." That's just human nature because when you have big dreams, and especially when you have big success, it puts a mirror in front of them. If you have a really nice body and someone's fat or lazy and they just are out of shape, it's a bit of a it's a bit of a slap in the face to them because it puts a big mirror in front of you and it forces you to reflect on your actions because that person has the same amount of time in the day as you, same amount of time. Sure, circumstances are different, but if they can make it work and they have it and you don't, it forces people to reflect on themselves. Because why don't you have it? You know you should do it. You know you want it. So why don't you? The simple truth is you're not willing to pay for what it's worth. If you have big dreams, don't let people don't let people belittle them. If you have dreams, you need to pursue them. You only live once. And the pain of regret will be more painful than any struggle you'll likely face. Because at the end of your life, sitting on your deathbed, you're going to look back and you're going to think, I had limited time. What did I do with it? And if you look back and you say, I had nothing to be proud of, all those dreams I had, I did nothing with. No amount of money, even if you're at your old age, no amount of money would be worth the time you wasted. If you were, let's say you were to be given $1 billion, but you die tomorrow, would you take it? Some of you may say yes, but that is pessimistic. Most people will say no. Well, if that's the case, that means tomorrow to you is worth more than $1 billion. So why do you waste it? You act as if your days are infinite, where you just sit there and do nothing. You have urges and aspirations, but you just don't do anything about them. And yet that day's worth more to you than billions? What are you doing? Genuinely reflect on that. What are you doing with your life? At this rate, at the way you are, where will you go? What does your life look like in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? The end of your life. What does that look like? Are you proud of it? Does it excite you? It should excite you. Or does it scare you? Do you feel fear when you think about that life that you're going to end up living at the rate you're living your life? Like, are you scared? You should be excited. You should be proud. You should be filled with joy. That is one of my greatest fears. And that's why I'm deciding I have to make it work. I'm going to get rich. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to work on my confidence, my mindset, my vision. I'll get married someday. I'll do all sorts of cool things, but first, I genuinely need to believe. I cannot without a doubt. I cannot doubt my ability and I cannot doubt my future. If it's going to work, you have to believe. If you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? No one's going to hold your hand and carry you to the finish line. It's just not how life works. Everyone has their own problems. You need to do what you need to do for yourself. You can't just wait around and hope that someone's going to hold your hand and do it for you. No, like you have to do it for yourself. I'm going to do it for myself. I'm going to make it work. Mark my words. Okay? Someday I'll be in a much better place. I'll better mindset, better body, I'll have resources. I'll travel the world. It's always been my dream to travel the world. I'm going to make it work one way or another. That's all.